Hello, welcome back to the Kitchen Table Modelers Workshop. My name's Ian and there's my modelling table. So what have we got today? Well, it's a kit review sprue tour video. I've not done one for a while, but this is one I've been meaning to do for a while because I've had this kit in my stash for a while. I got it a little while ago and I just haven't had time to do it. As you can see from the box, we've got Trumpeters 1/350th scale HMS Abercromby Monitor. And what a fantastic kit. I've been itching to do this. I saw this kit, or the sister ship to this kit, a good few years ago when I was visiting Scale Scotland at Murrayfield Stadium. And I was just absolutely transfixed with the whole concept of the monitor ship. Now, I was aware of the monitor ship, but I'd never seen a model built. And I was transfixed with the level of detail that was in the kit. I thought, crikey, this is an amazing little kit. I thought, I'll have to get me one of them. And then kind of went off the boil, forgot about it. And then I saw this one come up on eBay. And I got it for really, really good money. Probably about half the list price. And I thought, well, you know, put a bid in. Won the bid. And thought, well, that's great. And I thought, actually, this is really, really good. And it's good for the channel. And it's good for anyone interested to get into model warships. And I'll explain. The reason is because it's detailed enough that it's going to challenge you, but it's not too detailed and overly complicated that it's going to frustrate you. And I say that quite confidently without actually going through the kit too much. Just looking at the picture, you've only got one big gun turret. You've got one island, a couple of masts, and then the railings and such like. So if you look at a battleship, you've probably got 3 to 4 turrets, and you've got boats and davits and secondary armament and radar and huff-duff and everything like that. So it's the level of complexity with this kit is going to be a lot less. The thing we need to find out about is the quality and how well it's been molded. So the only way we're going to do that is if I stop waffling and we get on the camera, the kit on the table and the camera above, and we'll have a look in the box and see what we actually get for our pennies. So enough waffling, let's go. So we're on the table. What have we got? So as I said, HMS Abercrombie Monitor 1/350 scale, and we're looking at kit number 05336. Length is 325mm, beam is 77.5mm, and we're looking at 480 plus parts. And obviously with this kit and this size, it's definitely not for anyone under the age of 14, and not for the light-hearted modeler. You need to have a couple of kits under your belt, I think. So artwork is amazing. It's really, really, really nice. And Trumpeter usually have pretty good artwork. We've got a bit of side drawing there, side profile, and we've got some blurb, if we can get that to focus. There you go. You can pause that if you like. And we've got a plan view with color plan view, which is really nice. And then looks like we've got some photo etch there. This product is not a toy. Barcode in China. Other end. Top opening box to start with then. Let's pop the top open. And it's quite full. So we've got a lovely plan drawing, colour drawings for the paint scheme, instructions, and then a box full of plastic and a little bit of photo etch. So we'll set that to one side and I will go through the instructions first. So paint callouts. So if we look at the painting guide first, and I will zoom this in a bit. Try and focus it. There we go. So we've got callouts for Mr. Hobby, Vallejo, Model Master, Tamiya, and Humbrol. And if you're a Tamiya painter, you've got everything but wood brown for the deck. But I mean, you can use wood deck tan. So you're well serviced with Tamiya paints, as well as Vallejo, and Model Master as well. So you're not going to be short for a painting guide. It's just one side. So you've got your both plan view and then both profile views. And it's quite a nice disruptive pattern on this particular vessel. And realistically, you've only got wood deck for, looks like one superstructure piece, and then the Carly floats. So you're doing all right there. So the instructions. The usual bit, read before assembly. Go a bit, there we go. So we have a plan spread of all the sprues. So we've got hull halves, deck, a full one-piece deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sprues. That would include the stand, and then we've got a number of deck pieces. We've got 3 photo-etched pieces and the flags. So assembly part 1, we've got hole making. Pay attention to the bow line. So you A1 and A2, so the 2 port and starboard hulls halves, and then part 2 we're bringing it all together, and we've got some nice reinforcing to maintain the shape, which is really, really good. You'll get a rigid hull with that. Deck goes on, and then we're putting on the bilge keels, the 2 stern tubes, and props and rudders. And bearing in mind this has been built specifically for shallow waters, so that's why it's more barge-like than it is ocean-going vessel. And you've got the rudders recessed under the stern of the vessel. So this already is really good because you'll be able to paint all the hull and the decks before you even put the superstructure on. So you're going to be well ahead there. And it's simple. So next construction is we've got the radar antennas by the looks of it, direction finders, wheel, light anti-aircraft guns. Part 5 we've got the pom-poms. Part 6 we've got your secondary armaments, that's probably 4-inch gun emplacements. Part 7 direction finder with Huffed Off high frequency direction finder on the top for radar. Carly floats, and then part 8 we've got the main armament. Now if I remember rightly, the main armament was a turret that was taken off HMS Furious, and this is the classic Royal Navy 15-inch gun. So you've got a pair of 15-inch guns on this vessel, so that's packing a serious punch. This is battleship armament that it's got on it. Part 9, we're bringing on the breakwater, windlasses, probably some vents, the rear capstan, and then part 10 we're starting on the superstructure. Part 11, so we've got the rear superstructure going on, we've got some gun emplacements going on here, and then we've got a lot of the deck furniture going on here, and this is all going to be tiny. 12, we're introducing more deck furniture. 13, even more deck furniture. Chains for the bow anchors and a stern anchor. Part 13, we're looking at the citadel, so the main part of the bridge and control room for this vessel. We've got the direction finders, and then we have the funnel for part 15. 16, we're bringing this to the hull. 17, we're adding searchlights, anti-aircraft armament. We're starting on the PE railings now, photo-etched railings. 18, we're building up the masts, so the main mast and the rear mast. Lookout or the watch platform, more antennas and radar units, and then we're nearly there. Part 21 is finishing on adding the superstructures, bringing the masts onto the vessel. Part 22, davits, pom-poms, secondary armament, main armament, ship's boats, more davits and scuppers, and then part 23 we're building up the ship's crane or derrick, and then we're putting on the ship's railings and the boat derricks and the plinth, and that's it finished. So 24 parts, and that's you done. If only it's as simple as that. It is actually quite simplistic construction, and Trumpeter, to their due, have actually broken the kit down really well there for a beginner. And this is where I was harking back to when I started this video. this kit is ideal for a beginner. So let's have a look and see what we've got in the box. So we may as well start with, yeah, I'm not even going to bother getting that out of the bag. There's the stand. And you can paint that up. It doesn't have to be left black. You can paint it any colour you like. You could paint those blocks into wooden blocks as if it's on the dock, on the stocks, I think it's called, when it's on the dry dock. So let's open the bags. Now I haven't been through any of this, although I have had to resist the temptation because I've been quite excited about this kit for the very reason that I honestly think if you are wanting to get into 1/350 scale naval vessels, this is the kit to do it with. So nicely packaged, nicely protected. Let's see if this one will slip off this end. Yes, it will. So here's our two hull halves, and obviously we need to trim them off, but they do look well molded, certainly not warped. We've got some, we can get the light to work, there we go, we've got some lovely detail molded into the side. Portholes, you might want to chase these out with a drill just to make them a bit more crisp. We've got a mold line running along here, which to be fair is going to be a cinch to scrape off with a scalpel blade and then polish up with a sand and sponge. But all in all, really nice little hull, and hark back to size, that's not a big bulk of a kit to be working with for a beginner in this modelling genre. So both hull halves are both equally well molded. And then the next big piece we've got is the main deck, and it's a one-piece deck. Again, simplicity. Now this vessel was a steel decked vessel, so we don't have to worry about wood veneer decks. It's a little bit warped. You can see that there? Not going to be a problem. Just start the gluing at one end and glue it down, and bit by bit you'll be able to glue that down and it'll be straightened out. You probably could gently bend it and it'll straighten. I'm not going to do that until it gets to the point of doing it. But on the whole, it's really good. We've got the stocks for the boats already molded into the deck. We've got some very well defined marking lines for the superstructure to go on. The barbette is beautifully molded. There's no flash in any of the holes. They're very crisply molded. The anchor hawsers are all well molded, and there's no great huge ejection pins that's going to foul the joint around the edge of the hull underneath it. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. There you go, 1/350th Abercrombie's on the bottom. I don't know how you can get that with a light. So there's the main deck. So the next thing we've got is we've got Photo-etched. Now I'm not going to take this out. These will only be taken out when I come to use them, but I can tell you now these are beautifully etched. We've got all the railings. This is part of the viewing platform. Exquisitely molded ladders here. Gangways, really well molded. Blast shields for the anti-aircraft, and we've got some anchor chain in there. They're fantastic. And then the second fret of PE was actually second and third fret, so we've got more railings, gangways, ladders. We've got the range finding radar antennas there, and we move on to here. We've got more of the superstructure and the antennas and strengthening webbing for the lookout platform. And these look like they're possibly splinter bags that have been molded out of PE. Really nicely done, very fine attachment points, and it shouldn't be a problem. Right, onto the plastic. So moving on from the Photo-etched, we have got the main turret. I think I will get this out of the bag. As with Trumpeter, you've got all the parts sealed in individual bags, which is really nice. Gives them that extra level of protection. So we've got the name badge. There we go, for the plinth, and we've got the part of the superstructure. So I think this is possibly the rear superstructure. Beautifully molded, very, very finely molded for these raised areas. No ejector pins really of anything that you're going to see. The turret, see if we can get that to focus. Absolutely exquisitely molded. So we've got the plate lines and we've got the rivet lines on the plates, and we've got the apertures for the guns themselves. We've got parts of the little deck buildings there, the anti-aircraft gun emplacements and the funnel. Beautifully, beautifully molded, and that really is beautifully molded. Quite impressed with that, Trumpeter. Well done. So they should clean up very easily, and they should be able to go together very easily. Right, this is the main superstructure. Yeah, we'll get this out. I might not take all of these out of the packaging purely because they've got really, really small parts on. It depends on if you can see them on the camera. This one we will be able to. So this is the bridge here. If we can see that. That's beautifully molded. Really, really nicely molded. Very, very finely molded. And this is the citadel. So the main part of the superstructure. Again, beautifully molded. Very, very crisp corners. Very minimal cleanup. Minimal, just one sprue attachment point. You've even got the, if you can see that there, you've even got the little eyebrows over the portholes. And the doors are molded beautifully. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I'm really quite impressed with that molding. Right, we've got a double sprue here, and I'm going to leave this in. I know this might annoy a few of you, but I'm only leaving it in purely because all these small parts. So it's a double sprue. We've got the Carly floats, we've got the ship's boats, anchors, we've got the rudders, parts of the anti-aircraft guns, we've got the main guns and the pom-poms. No, I'll tell you what, I'll take one out because again I'm actually really impressed with this kit, and I'll show you why. I'll go gently. Right. Nice crisp plastic. Trumpers always had lovely plastic. Let's start with the Carly floats. Beautiful detail. Really, really nice fine moulding. Look at the derricks. Fine moulding. Look at the anchors. Fine moulding. Look at the guns. Oh look, we've got slide moulding. Now I think, and I need to check with the instructions, but I think this part here is a pre-molded piece if you're going to use turned brass guns. How about thinking of that? They obviously knew people were going to come along with aftermarket kit. Saves cutting the gun barrel off here and drilling your hole centrally. It's already been done for you. I might be wrong, but I think that's what that's for. Secondary armament blast shields. Now, look at these anti-aircraft guns here. Absolutely fine, fine moulding in plastic. Really, really impressed. And then look at the pom-pom deck. Those little dots are actually moulded right through the plastic, and that's beautiful. Absolutely stunning moulding. So the quality of the moulding is great, and if you looked at all the parts, there's really not much burring on them. Now this is quite an important one, and the reason this is an important sprue is because we have got more ship's guns, he says. So here we go. Second set of ship's guns, and these are ones with blast bags on them. So that gives us more options. We've got the bilge keels. We've got part of the masts here. We've got ship's boat. And can you see the moulding on that? We've got the grab rails moulded on top of the boathouse. Absolutely stunning. Really, really impressed with the moulding of this Trumpeter. We'll take this off. We've got the props. You can't really see that very well, but they're superbly thin and in scale. More blast bags here. Okay, so that's the other half of blast bags for this side here. That's fine. So there'll be a bit of a seam to deal with. We've got the stern tubes and prop shafts. We've got another ship's boat. or the Whaler, I think it's called. And it's all so finely molded. And minimal burring. Really impressed. Right, I've only got a couple more sprues to go. This one is just basically the formers for the hull. We've got some more pom-poms here. And we've got the turret base here. So I'll leave that one in because there's really not much in there to see. We've got the flags. That's just trumpeter decals, and they tend to be okay. So I won't bother looking at them. We've got double sprues here that have got deck furniture, basically. So we've got the searchlights, small olicons, searchlight platforms, and small deck furniture. I'm not going to take them out, the tiny pieces, but they're all really, really well molded. And then the final bag we've got is more superstructure parts, which realistically I don't need to take them out of the bag because they're the same quality as the rest of it. And that's it. It's not much, really not much compared to other model ships. Right, let me get this back in the box, get the camera back up off the table, and we'll have my final conclusions and thoughts about this kit. So there we are, Trumpeters 1/350th scale HMS Abercromby Monitor. I'll hark back to my comments on the opening of this video. This is a fantastic kit for its subject matter anyway. It's unusual. It's a classic innovation of the Royal Navy, looking to reuse some unused main battery turrets off a battleship. But it's a kit that is a gateway kit for anybody that wants to get into the whole 350th scale warship modeling scene. And it's massive. I mean, if you look at Tamiya, if you look at Fujimi, and many other companies, Trumpeter included, the subject matter for the 350th scale is huge. But it's a modeling genre that needs a certain level of expertise because of the small nature of the parts and the complexity of these kits. It's not something you can just dive into and be good at very, very quickly. However, this is where this kit comes in. This is a miniaturized version of every aspect of 350th scale modeling. You've got detailed small plastic parts, you've got hulls, you've got photo-etch, and you'll have rigging. All in one box, without having to buy anything extra. You're going to get a fantastically detailed model straight from the get-go. And cutting your teeth on something like this will then give you the expertise and the skill set, or start developing it anyway, to then take on your next kit. And that might be a bigger ship with slightly more photo-etch, more complexity, until you take on your full-blown ship that's got a huge conversion. You know, you may be getting a Pontos set or a Mark 1 set that replaces half of the stuff on the kit, and that's, you know, that's very possible. There's quite a few channels out there that are dedicated to ship modeling, and it will blow your mind when you see what they're doing, replacing parts, improving parts, making the ship ultra accurate for whatever time period they're modeling it in. But everyone's got to start somewhere, and I honestly believe this is possibly where anybody interested in 350th scale ship modeling should start. It's a kit that's got everything, and it's not too expensive. I think it's retailing around about the £50 mark on the UK market at the moment, so this is back end of 2023. I picked this one up off eBay, about half price from that. So it's a really, really cheap kit for everything you get in for that money. If you're picking up each second-hand off eBay, it's a bargain, and this was a bargain. But even paying full price for the kit, for the level of detail and for the completeness of the kit, you are getting value for money. But it's also not too much that it's going to be overwhelming and you're not going to finish it. If you start this kit, you'll finish it, and you're going to end up with a fantastic and very, very unusual subject matter. So there we go. Thoughts about the kit? You've just had them. Value for money? Yes. Buildability, yes. Should you buy it? Yes. If you're interested in this subject matter, yes, you should. I don't think you'll regret it. Thanks for watching. If you've gotten this far on my waffling and enthusiasm, I appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything to discuss about this kit, feel free to put them down below. I always take the time to read questions, and I appreciate everyone's taking time to drop me a line. As always, please consider liking and subscribing. It does help the algorithm to promote the channel and get it out there a bit more. And I do appreciate everyone that takes the time to do that. So all that remains to say is thank you very much. And until next time, guys, stay safe, happy modeling, and we'll see you soon.